80% of Americans don't have this.
Flood insurance.
And we seen, imagine the amount of money that these poor folks in Houston, they don't have it. And how are they going to replace those homes without the flood insurance?
$35 billion in property damage for people who did not have flood insurance.
$35 billion worth of damage.
Now, there are ways they can get some funding to help, but it's basically through
FEMA?
FEMA, thank you.
And I think
brain fart. But it doesn't cover all of the damage. Mm-hmm. So just say if you had $30,000 in property damage, the most FEMA can give you is $25,000, and it's a loan.
Yeah.
So now you have a second mortgage on your house.
Mm-hmm.
That also has an interest rate to it. So now, I mean, you only get most of your house fixed. You still got to come up with another $5,000-$10,000 to fix your home. Mm-hmm. And now you've got a second mortgage.
Rhode Islanders are no stranger to this. Remember 2010, guys?
Oh, yes.
I know our listeners are just shaking their head right now because I guarantee you a lot of you have been affected by floods in 2010 and around that time. And I just think that was horrible. I mean, we're still seeing homes that have damage from the flood then. Mm-hmm. And Greg, I'm sure you see your fair share being in property management of those homes, and the amount of money Rhode Islanders had to dish out on that. I mean, maybe it does make sense to get maybe a $500 or $1,000 flood insurance policy, even if you don't need it.
I mean, there are people who are in designated flood zones. They're required to get flood insurance.
Yeah.
But with something as catastrophic as this storm, I mean, we're talking about 51 inches of rain in a 3-day period. They got a year's worth of rain in a weekend.
And what was that stat you told me about the snow?
The snow. Now, if you do the math, and it's usually about 10 inches of rain, 1 inch of rain equals 10 inches of snow.
Yep.
You would have been looking at about 510 inches of snow in one storm.
That's insane.
That would have crippled everything.
That would have annihilated us here.
And of course, now you had people who were affected by the storm who obviously didn't live in flood zones, but they got flooded anyways because there was a catastrophic amount of water.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, maybe just having that little protection goes a long way.
You know that this is so. When people think about realtors, they think about people going out selling houses, but that's not only true. The National Association of Realtors, which I'm proud to be a part of, okay, is actually, going to Congress and asking them and giving them data that shows that they need to reassess basically keeping the National Flood Insurance Program in place. And this is happening right now.
Yep. Matter of fact, the end of September, it's due to expire.
It is. It's due to expire. That's why the National Association of Realtors is lobbying on behalf of homeowners all across the country, taking this to Congress. And when it expires, everybody's premium is going to go up another 20%. Over the past 5 years, it's been going up 20% at a time because, the government was, it was a subsidy for a while. So,
not to be all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
But we got another one coming up in the Caribbean right now, Irma.
Yeah.
That on Thursday reached Category 5 level, 175 mile sustained winds, and it's tracking towards Florida, and it could shift one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So, not to scare people, but it's, there's another one coming, so there's going to be more. Some people are going to get hammered.
You never know. So just, protect your assets.